She went missing overnight. Her girlfriend said she left with no warning, but nobody believes that story, especially now that there's been someone else.
A Bedford County woman guilty of attempted murder in a plot against her ex-wife.
There are bad people in the world, and then there's Heather Dybert, a central Pennsylvania woman who spent a good chunk of her time over the last 2 decades stalking, harassing, and assaulting former partners.
State police say Dybert offered drugs and money to burn down a house that her wife was staying in with family.
She might be one of the worst domestic abusers I've ever come across as a reporter. Her reign of terror only just ended in 2023 when she was arrested and later found guilty of organizing a murder-for-hire plot against her ex-wife, who police say had fled the relationship after 15 months of horrific abuse.
This case was about control, manipulation, and the escalation of domestic violence that could have ended in unthinkable tragedy.
But I discovered Heather Dybert before her name was even in the headlines, when it was still just a whisper around town about her suspected involvement in a missing persons case. In 2019, I was working for WTAJ and put together a series called Have You Seen Me?, which focused on unsolved missing persons cases around central Pennsylvania. Fawn Mountain was my first story. A 25-year-old from the working-class city called Altoona, an old railroad town. Fawn had disappeared in 2012, 3 days after Thanksgiving, and she was last seen in Heather Dybert's car.
She said, I'm going to go home, watch some scary movies. She loves scary movies, and that was the last I've seen her.
Fawn and Heather lived together in a secluded trailer park outside of Claysburg, a small township to the south of Altoona, nestled near the base of Blue Knob in the Appalachian Mountain Range. Stephanie Clark was their neighbor. She lived with Heather's brother at the time. And on the day that Fawn went missing, the four had worked together at the Dybert family's butcher shop preparing it for the upcoming deer season. Fawn and Heather went back to their home seemingly chipper, but the next morning, Fawn was gone.
I didn't even know Fawn was missing or anything. I just thought it was odd that she wasn't out there too, because usually Heather didn't leave her out of her sight.
Heather's explanation was that Fawn disappeared in the night, but it was freezing outside. She took none of her things and notified no one, indicating she'd have walked on foot. Knowing their patterns well, Stephanie didn't buy the story.
I don't believe it. Like, where would she have? First of all, Fawn had left Heather several times before. For 6 years, anytime that girl would leave her, I mean, she would be losing her mind.
According to her colorful background, Heather Dybert's MOS is to threaten and stalk her partners into coming back into the relationship. One protective order from 2014 after Fawn disappeared indicates that one of Heather's partners had to quit going to school because Heather would wait by her car with a weapon and threaten to kill her. Records and witnesses from Fawn and Heather's relationship show the patterns were no different.
There were many times that she ran from Heather. Many times.
Fawn's cousin, Bridget Gill, said Heather's abuse over the course of their 6-year relationship broke Fawn down to the point where she was totally isolated.
She was not allowed to have family and friends.
Fawn just felt like by then, she didn't talk to anybody for so long. I just don't think she felt like she really had much of anybody.
Speaking to Fawn's mother, Dorothy Mountain, I learned the last time they saw each other was several months prior to her disappearance, when Fawn fled the relationship for the last time.
She came down with this long hoodie on, and the hood was up over her head, and I'm like, can you please take that hood off? She had rope marks coming clear around her neck.
But something happened to cause Fawn to return to Heather, and additionally, file a protection order against her own mother.
Next thing I know, I get a paper in the mail stating that I wasn't supposed to be near her.
Still, after time passed and nobody heard from her, Dorothy called for a wellness check shortly before Fawn disappeared, and police confirmed Fawn was alive.
They made contact with her, and it has been documented in their reports that they did physically see her.
The isolation and confusion in the aftermath of Fawn's last sighting caused a gap in time between her disappearance and it being reported by 2 years. Heather Dybert's claims to be in contact with Fawn during that time didn't help.
Heather had told so many people so many different things.
But once family asked police to check, those explanations failed to have legitimacy. Yet immediately following the last time she was seen, Stephanie saw repairs being done to the trailer.
They took out the carpet, the floorboards, put all new, flooring in and everything.
There was a rumor about Fawn's body being buried in the cement behind their trailer that Pennsylvania State Police dispelled privately to me in 2019. Behind the scenes, they told me they believed Heather was their person of interest, but that was 6 years ago, and they still haven't named her publicly. Another rumor was that Heather and her parents disposed of Fawn's body in their butcher shop, but there's no way to confirm that theory. I even tried going to their home in 2019 with no luck of them answering the door. Heather's new charge will put her away for a long time, and if she's involved in Fawn's disappearance, perhaps there's a point soon where more information will come about.